Is Zach Sealer going to step out? We're going to wait and see. Drew Rosenhaus just got Mika Fitzpatrick a new deal. Now he can focus even more on Zach Sealer possibly getting a contract extension or a reworking of the contract. A lot of people thought Sealer was going to sit in like Tua did last year. Remember, Tua showed up to practice because he didn't want to get fined and didn't do anything. Well, Zach Sealer did drills this week. Tuesday, we'll see about the pads. Zach Sealer asked, why are you not holding out? Zach Sealer, always honest with people.
So I'm not going to talk on anyone else's decision. I think everyone's decision is their own path, their own journey. I have my path and my journey, and I think that, prayed about it a bunch, talked to my wife, talked to my family, and, end of the day, I'm going to be me. What got me to this point, what's got me here so far, and that's what I'm going to do every day. So that's how I take this approach.
That's a man right there. I eat my vitamins. I'll say my prayers. Go to bed. Brother. Zach Sealer right there, just day by day. He still probably will. He should probably sit out Tuesday if he doesn't have a contract. But I'm just saying, you never know. Zach Sealer's one of those guys, man. Like, he realizes where he came from. He lived in an RV with his wife. He got cut by the Ravens.
Wow, he lived in an RV with a wife. That's a wifey right there, man. Anybody,
she's getting the rewards now.
I'm saying she deserves it, but that's a wife, man. That's your partner for life. If she's willing to live in an RV with you when things are bad, because her family, people probably saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be living in an RV at this
with a jobless man."
Yeah, and
so they met at Ferris State University, which is in Michigan. Started dating, got married. He bounced around in the league, got cut a couple times. Didn't really have a place to live as far as, he was still transitioning from team to team to team. So they lived in an RV for a while, landed with the Dolphins. Everyone thought, oh, Christian Wilkins is the reason Zach Sealer is good. Then last year, oh, Calais Campbell is the reason that Zach Sealer is good. This year, they're going to go, oh, Kenneth Grant is the reason Zach Sealer is good. Until one day, someone's going to go, man, that Zach Sealer is pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. One guy that I don't think is pretty darn good, cornerback Cam Smith. Hopefully he proves us wrong. Mike McDaniel says Cam Smith in this early workout stage is doing everything right.
No, the idea where Cam needs to be is really progressing in the dark. There's nothing. He is every day chopping wood and chasing technique fundamentals and being one with his teammates. And that, for a talented young player, it's boring, but that is the formula. So, like 2 practices in, sweet. And he knows that. I care about the 3rd practice today. And then we keep stacking those. But I like where he's at today. What does that mean moving forward? We shall see. But so far, so great.
That is a nay, thumbs down right there. Even for Mike McDaniel, that is a squirrely answer. That does not give me any confidence whatsoever that Cam Smith is doing things right.
I'm sorry. I literally, like, after the first 3 seconds, I tuned out. What was he saying? Like, he's gotten to the point. I like feisty McDaniel. I need Jalen Ramsey back on the team because feisty McDaniel was giving us 15-second answers and it was straight to the point when Jalen Ramsey.
Well, he hemmed and hawed the first because he didn't know how to answer the question. He didn't want to he probably didn't want to be honest with the media of what's going on with Cam
Now
Smith.
He's going back
then
to.
He says he's chopping wood, which we know last year meant they're sucking. Then he went and said he's won with his team.
No, he's
then
not.
He went and said the first 2 practices he's done everything right, but I'm worried about practice 3. It's like that was even a squirrely answer from McDaniel. Look. At least Chris Greer came out and said, we're not holding your hand anymore, Cam Smith. You need to step up. Leave it at that. Mike McDaniel, when they ask you about Cam Smith, go, he's been told by Chris Greer. You can go back and listen to that. Don't give me these squirt. He looked like he sounded uncomfortable trying to answer that question because we know what he really could say about Cam Smith. But Storm Duck will probably start over Cam Smith this year. Yes, Storm Duck, a guy who one time I told you about and you thought it was a joke. He's a real guy. Played at the Hill and the Ville, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and Louisville. So, yeah, Storm Duck said, okay, maybe the secondary, it's questionable, but there is one group on this defense that can really make that secondary much stronger?
Yeah, I mean, it makes it a lot easier. I mean, as a DB, I mean, if the front gets there faster, the less we have to cover. The front doesn't get there, the more we have to cover. So I think it works that way. But it's always good to have a great D line to get to the quarterback, get the ball out quick, to make more plays. But I mean, even if they don't, we still got to do our job and cover.
So Storm Duck's saying what we've said all along. This defense is going to be totally built on the success of the
front seven
pass rush. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Front seven. Because honestly, I'm thinking that's how they're going to do the Band-Aid for this secondary.
That's why I was very adamant. Not adamant. That's why when I heard about the whole Christian Wilkins being cut, that's why I was like, maybe bring him in to Miami, going back to a place where they know him. But also, I think as much defensive line help you can get, you can do a rotation and get fresh guys on out there in the game and put the pass rush on the quarterback. Because that's literally how I see the key for the Dolphins defense this year is the rush that the front seven can get. Because I don't think their linebackers are great and their secondary.
I think that's how they're going to figure this thing out. No, it's not. I mean, it is their fault that they don't have a good secondary, but I think that's their fix. This is the only really best option they have is if you get a good pass rush, the secondary is less exposed. Storm Duck said it. We have to guard less. We have to cover less when they have less time. When you get pressure, Anthony Weaver was probably saying, look, this is all we just got to get to the quarterback. We got to get to the quarterback fast, or else these guys are going to be on an island. And it's going to be in this league. It's already tough enough to cover these guys, much less when you don't have as much talent. And let's be honest, this Dolphins cornerbacks, at least, don't have the most talent in the league. Some publications have gone as far as saying it's the worst starting group in professional football. Whether that's true or not, to be in that conversation, Vlad, already has to have you a little weary, okay?
What, that
that some people say that you're the worst starting group in professional football.
Secondary, huh?
No, I'm not talking about starting secondary.
So defense?
I'm talking about group.
The defense. Just the whole roster.
Offense. Defense.
No. The Dolphins are not, because I've seen some of the teams. The Jets were in 27. The Giants, they've had some teams I can understand. Like, I can understand having Cleveland. I can understand having Tennessee. But there's certain teams, if they have the Dolphins there, that's wrong. That's wrong. There's certain teams I don't understand.
I can't break down the Browns secondary, so I don't know.
For example, the Jets were a top team last year, right? Everybody, before the season began, everybody expected them to be a top team. And the only difference between this year and last year is that they lost a 41-year-old quarterback and a 32, 33-year-old linebacker. And yet they said they have one of the worst rosters in the NFL. And I'm like, how do you go from getting younger to becoming worse? So it's the same thing with the same thought process goes to the Dolphins. Okay, the Dolphins got younger, correct?
Much younger, at least for now. I mean,
their secondary may not be
a bunch of 30-year-olds.
Their secondary is just minus the secondary. What's different than last season?
What's different from last season?
Yeah, other than the secondary, what are they missing? They got younger. The guys that were there last season, Calais went to Arizona to finish with the team that drafted him.
Patrick Paul takes over for Teron Armstead. Armstead was not going to be able to. He just didn't have it anymore. Just physically, he couldn't do it anymore. The man was put together on gum and scotch tape. You get Jalen Wright taking over for Raheem Mostert.
Younger, better.
Depending. Oh, Raheem Mostert's with the Raiders. Let's see how that goes.
Minka, you got Minka for Jalen.
A little bit younger.
You got him for a longer term.
Jonnu Smith is out.
But, okay, Darren Waller. Now, listen, the tight end position, I'm a Jonnu guy. So
I'm a Darren Waller guy.
I'll never be a
hold
on, time out. I can never say I'll never be a Darren Waller guy. I root for Darren Waller. But I gotta admit, you fumbled with Kelsey Plum. I'm always gonna look at you like that.
She's gotten a bad look in the media lately too. For the way she treated Caitlin Clark and Caitlin Clark schooling her and stuff like that. It was pretty funny.
Caitlin in school, she was right. I thought Kelsey was right. Like, you have a meeting and the people from the meeting weren't there.
Well, look, man, what happens in your personal relationships, that's your own business.
No, I'm just saying, listen, personal relationships, cool. It's just when it's out in the public,
He had a
people,
little bit of a meltdown. That was the problem.
and it was a little bit more of a meltdown. man.
You wonder about his mental fortitude.
It was just a little bit more. It was like, ooh, okay, all right then.
I mean, going to rap music or making whatever that music was and apologizing and
Back to you, ask Kelsey, hey man, hey baby, I got this rap career going. Come on. Just lend your man some money so he can open this label. So I can get these CDs out.
I think he'll be all right this year. Of course,
Listen,
I thought Odell Beckham Jr. was going to be all right.
And he fleeced you.
Terrible, man.
Fleeced you.
I was getting warned by everybody too. Thought I had one right there. Once again, I tell you when we're right. I tell you when we're wrong. I was wrong. I thought he was going to be just a decent third receiver on the team. I was wrong. Very wrong. Okay, last but not least, Benito Jones. Benito Jones talking about how this team needs to be tough against the run.
Stopping the run, you just got to be a dog, be aggressive, putting your hands on people, and just know, like, you want to be a violent man, you know what I'm saying? Let them know, like, we young. Of course, a couple guys going to be older than us who we play in their 30s. We still in our 20s, so, just let them know, like, man, we some grown men. We just putting our hands on them.
That's going to be a nade, Vlad, because I heard dogs so many times last year at this point in the season. We got dogs. We're going to be nasty. We're going to be mean. Stop. Once again, I'm going to get back to what I said earlier. No disrespect, but shut up and play. I don't want to hear about we're tough, we're dogs, we're young, we're doing this. No. Last year, they admitted, Bradley Chubb said, we said all this stuff about being tough and dogs and all this stuff.
Yeah, but Bradley wasn't even there last year.
I know, but he was saying, we didn't really mean it. We knew. So I don't want to hear it anymore because I don't believe you until you do it.
Do you think they don't believe their dogs? They have any dogs?
Want to be dogs?
I believe they think they're dogs, but they're led by a Chihuahua.
They want to. There's one thing. There's a lot of things I want, but some days I realize, nah.
See, Mike Tomlin, Kane Corso, right? There's guys that there's leaders, coaches that are like pit bulls, Rotties, German Shepherds, and then there's dogs like Chihuahuas, Yorkies.
Yeah. Poodle.
Mike McDaniel looks like a Yorkie.
Okay. No, I mean, that's the thing that you want to be something so bad, but it's like, now you have to prove. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're young, we're dogs. I'm tired of hearing it, man. Yeah. And you're right. Maybe it's deeper where it's like, well, why don't we just get more tough guys then? We're like, maybe.
It ain't about tough, man. You guys are torn. You guys are tough. You're not. Nobody can instill toughness in you. What are we doing here, bro? Stop it. Stop.
Maybe
enough.
From the top. Maybe it's from the top. I don't know. We'll see. But they made the effort to get these guys in here.
I got to shout out Platinum Swords. He said one of the funniest things, man. He says, Mike McDaniel needs to describe things as Legos so we can be understood. It's true.
He got caught on that.
True.
He got caught on that Cam Ward question.
Question. That Cam Smith question. I'm like, dude, 3 seconds in, my mind started wandering. And then I'm like, huh?
He didn't want to answer it. That was pretty obvious.
Oh my God, that was funny.
We have a good feeling we know who Cam Smith is. I'm going to stay on this one too. We have a good feeling we know who Cam Smith is.
Time out. We should know who Cam Smith is because the general manager drafted him, and that's that's his son's good friend, right?
Yes.
So you should already know how that guy is.
Third year. First year is
can't hold his hands any longer there, Dan. That's what Chris Greer said. Can't hold your hands anymore.
Well, Fangio hated him. That's why that was the excuse the first year. Second year was injuries. He had a hamstring. No holding hands.
More and more Fangs looked like I enough of this BS. I'm done with this. I'm too old for this. He had the Danny Glover. He had a Roger Murtaugh moment. He was like, I'm too old for this. Let me go to Philly.
Back to my roots.
Back to my roots. And what happened? Won the title.
Those good, hardworking, blue-collar people.
Best defense, won a title, and got Jalen Carter.
Legendary.
Jeez. I don't know if they were legendary, but they were a hell of it. They were good defense.
Legendary. They were good Super Bowl performance. I never saw Patrick Mahomes look so just inept.
Fam, I saw that game again because NFL Network was showing all these games to get you ready for the 2025 season. And I didn't realize. I realized it, but when you don't, it's not a game you're looking back. You're gonna you want to run back to see it.
It wasn't special.
But damn, You talking about putting makeup on an ugly pig? Those touchdowns at the end of in the fourth quarter, so that they wouldn't get shut out. That's literally the score is not indicative of how much of a beatdown they took.
What was it, 22-0 at one point at like halftime? Or
Dude, it was like it might have been like 28. It was just nasty work, bro. Nasty work. Which is why, and we're gonna be doing this in the next couple of weeks. I'm afraid of the Kansas City Chiefs this year.
Get it right tour or whatever you want to call it.
I think this is Kelsey's last season.
I think it is too. Yeah.
So this is the Kelsey Swift end of an era tour. See what I did there? Ooh. End of an era tour. You see what? See what I did? And Patty don't like it. Patty don't like everybody doubting him. People saying, "Oh, he's only throwing for 200 yards and this, that, and the other." Like,
right, his numbers aren't elevated.
Like when his numbers were elevated, he was winning. Now his numbers aren't elevated. He's still winning. What does he got to do? He's just got to win. I think Patty's gonna go on a Fraggle Rock tour. He's gonna get back at everybody.
We're gonna see. It all starts September 7th. Well, it actually starts before September 7th, but that's when it starts with the Dolphins. That's really week 1.